Oh man. Do I even remember how any of this stuff works? Hey everybody, what's going on? My name is Tim. I am the Dizzy Daddy, and holy smokes, it has been a while. It has been almost 2 months since I did anything on this channel, and of course there's a reason for that. So this is an update of my 44 to 24 journey, my fitness journey, where I take my 44-year-old butt and try to transform it back into my younger, slightly more fit 24-year-old self. I've obviously hit a bit of a snag, but first of all, what happened during this time? Now, I didn't pass out for 2 months, I didn't slip into a parallel universe, and I wasn't out of town running away from loan sharks. Basically, in a nutshell, I had some family stuff that was going on, and then I got sick. I mean, really sick. So first, let's delve into the personal issues, or family stuff. At the beginning of October, unfortunately, my father passed away. And of course, this was a very sad time for my family, but my father was also 91 years old. And for the last few years, he had been in a care home, and he hadn't been himself. Of course, with that age comes things like dementia. He had been suffering for quite a while, and it was quite difficult to see him in that state. So he did pass away at the beginning of October, and it was actually just a few days before my Thanksgiving video came out. It had already been in the works. I was already sort of planning it. I ended up sort of vlogging it because obviously I was mourning and I wasn't in the best mood. But I did want to get it out there, and then I figured I'd take a break. Maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, just to collect myself. And then, in the third week, or at the beginning of the last week of October, I got sicker than I've been since grade 5. Grade 5 was the last time that I've been sick this bad for this long. I got what we'll just kind of in blanket terms call gastritis. My stomach, intestines, colon, everything down there basically just went kaput. And what was sort of the catalyst of this whole thing was one night I ate a bunch of spicy food and some carbonated beverages, and I thought I was okay, but obviously not. Obviously in my old age I don't handle spicy food or just eating like a teenager very well anymore. And the next day I felt incredible pressure. Now, I've had this happen to me before. This happened about 4 or 5 years ago. I felt incredible pressure. It was not releasing, and it was just very painful, and it lasted maybe 4 days. And I thought at the time, wow, I hope this never happens again. But it passed, and I was eventually okay. But this time around, holy smokes. I don't know what I did to make the universe angry, but it let me have it. So I'm not gonna go into all the details, because there are details and they're not pretty. But basically, to sum it up, I got incredible pressure and it wouldn't release from either top or bottom at first. So for the first 2 or 3 days, I basically felt like my lower sort of stomach and just guts area was gonna explode. It was really bad. And people ask me, did you think about going to the hospital? Well, yeah. I was thinking, I need to go there, and yet, right now here in Alberta, and even a month ago, we were having a COVID spike. So our hospitals right now are absolutely ram-packed. They're almost at capacity. And they were at the time that I started to get sick as well. And what you have to understand is when you're having these sort of like gastrointestinal issues, you can't go anywhere where they're gonna make you wait for 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 hours, right? We all know about emergency waiting rooms. Unless you are choking to death or bleeding out, they're not going to see you right away. And I couldn't be anywhere for any length of time where there wasn't a washroom nearby or somewhere I could puke or whatever. So I decided to tough it out for the first 3 days or so. Around day 4, I started to think, okay, it was still at like level 10, just cruising along. And I thought, one more day of this and I'm going. Like, there's no choice. And in the meanwhile, I realized that I was losing weight like a madman because I was not eating anything. It was everything I could do just to stay hydrated. And just as an aside, I would have filmed myself, but I was just in no condition to handle the camera or really do anything. So I managed to take out my phone and take a couple photos just of the scale. And for those of you who have watched some of my fitness journey before this, you might know that I was in a weight losing stage for the first 4 months. So I started in May at 163 pounds and I went down to, I believe it was like basically around 148 pounds, just a little bit under 148. So I lost something like 14, 15 pounds, something like that. And then from there, I was going to go into sort of a bulking, loading stage. Now, I had gotten up to around 151, 152 pounds. So I was bulking up, I was putting on muscle. And then this illness hit. And it occurred to me a couple days in, wow, I must have lost a bit of weight. I should check. So the first time I checked, this is what I saw. Now this is about 3 days in, and I'm thinking, holy smokes, I've lost, like, what is this? Like 8 pounds, somewhere like that. So in the first 3-4 days, I lost 8 or 9 pounds, and then it just kept going and going and going until I got into the 130s. I haven't been in the 130s since I was in university, and that was over 20 years ago. So for a guy who's supposed to be in the building and bulking stage of his fitness journey, this was a bit traumatic because if you remember, I'd already done the weight loss part of the whole thing. So that means I didn't have a ton of fat. I had some fat, but not a lot. So this was all muscle. This was all muscle that was basically like swirling down the drain. So it was rough to see, but there's nothing I could do about it. I could not eat anything. I barely ate anything for a full week, and then it was just kind of watery things, like a bit of broth or a bit of rice porridge or stuff like that. Just struggling to stay hydrated. It was absolutely brutal. So all told, I was completely bedridden for 2 weeks. I couldn't do anything. And then for the 3rd week, I was still in bad shape. I could kind of trundle about the house and do a couple things, but for the most part, for all intents and purposes, I was pretty much useless. So my poor wife basically had to do everything on top of working from home. So, hey, thanks, honey. I owe you yet another one. So 3 weeks of illness, and I went through all kinds of stages. Again, I won't go through the details, and man, I lost a lot of weight. I didn't quite get to Christian Bale in The Machinist level, but I did get to Ewan McGregor in Trainspotting. So where am I right now in my fitness journey? Because the last time I did a 44 to 24 video, I was doing the 5th month update, and it was circuit training, I believe I was talking about. Then I totally missed the 6 month update because, you know, I was trying not to die for 3 weeks. And then I lost a whole bunch of weight, and here we are. So the situation right now is that it's been a couple weeks since I got better, and I've basically been trying to concentrate on gaining weight back because I was under 140 pounds, and that's ridiculous. I mean, if you think about it, my weight loss portion of the journey got me down to 147.8. And right now, eating like a madman since I recovered, I've managed to climb all the way back up to 144 pounds. So basically, I'm still more than 3-4 pounds under the weight that I decided to stop at. So I'm still very scrawny, very skinny. The good news, or the silver lining, if there is one, is that I pretty much have no fat. So even though I have to kind of start from zero and build all the way back up, there is no fat standing in the way this time. So that pretty much encapsulates what happened to me over the last 2 months. I'm just glad this is over. I will definitely try to be more careful in the future, and hopefully nothing like this ever happens again. So this is usually the point at which I show you a montage of what I've been doing and how I've been working out and all that stuff. But really, all I got is push-ups and band-assisted chin-ups. I've been doing a few of these for the last maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 days off and on, because that's pretty much all I can handle. So there is no montage, but there is sandwich eating. I can eat a sandwich. I'm still 3-4 pounds under the weight that I stopped at when I was doing my fat loss portion of the journey. So I gotta get my glutton on, and let's go. Okay, yes, my favorite part of these videos. Oh, there's nothing like a nice oily, vinegary, Italian style sandwich. Okay, here we go. Gotta love a good old-fashioned cold cut sandwich. And there we go, the 7-month 44 to 24 update, and just an update in general. It's been 2 months, it's been a long hiatus. Hopefully that never happens again. Hopefully I never get sick like that again. And I just gotta say, I'm glad to be back. And now it's time to get back on that horse that I call Greasy, which I keep falling off of. I mean, this is the 3rd setback that has happened. So first there was the ligament, then I fractured my hand, and then I got super ill and lost a ton of all the muscle that I gained. But I still have 5 months left. So undaunted and at least unencumbered by all the fat I had at the beginning of the journey, I start anew and try to put that muscle back on. Oh boy. So thank you very much for once again joining me. I promise it won't be 2 months until the next video. If you haven't checked out my fitness journey yet, you can see it somewhere around here. I do have other videos, food videos and whatnot, and more of those are to come, of course. And I'm trying to start another new segment, but you know, one step at a time. We'll see how it goes. So once again, thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video or any other content on my channel, please do thumbs up, subscribe, notification bell, all that jazz, and I will see you next time. Take care.